Proponents of keto sell dieters the idea that if they stop eating carbohydrates, they will then start burning body fat effortlessly and they will reach their desired body weight. However, as you'll soon find out, it is not that simple. We become sick from this high level of ketones that are starting to poison the blood. It seems like everywhere we look on YouTube these days, someone is trying the keto diet. From beauty bloggers to gamers. Plant-based keto is even on the rise. Online interest in keto is at an all-time high. There are doctors recommending the diet to patients, and media dietitians making keto-friendly baby meals. Promoters of the keto diet promise that the more bacon, cheese, eggs, and animal fat we eat, the slimmer we will get. But how? Ketosis. That's the ticket. The state of optimal fat burning. After a morning of intermittent fasting, dieters cling to their bulletproof coffees as they plan out their low-carb meals and food list for the day.
Alright guys, I'm about to eat my first meal of the day. It is about 12:30. I am almost fasted for 18 hours. Again, I eat in a 6-hour window, and it is about 45 seconds until I could have my first meal.
Their keto cheat sheet includes meals like low-carb fried mac and cheese, keto pepperoni pizza, bacon breakfast bagels, keto buffalo chicken crust pizza. Rice, pasta, potatoes, fruit are a no-go. Carbohydrates are fattening. Butter is better. Dieters tuck into these calorie-rich dishes as a number on the scales drops. But before long they experience the keto flu. Feeling tired is normal. Weekly bowel movements are expected. There are many claims made by proponents of the keto diet, but what does the science say? Is it healthy and safe to be in a state of ketosis? Can I do the keto diet for life? Today we will dive deep into what the keto diet is and whether it is healthy or effective for long-term weight loss. Today I will share with you what the keto diet advocates don't tell you. Before we move on, don't forget to vote on these videos. It doesn't have to be a like, it can be a dislike. Just make sure you do something if you want to see more of them. I'm also working on a video about caffeine. If you want to see the video, then definitely vote on this one and comment below. And don't forget to check out my health and weight loss books. I've lost over 40 pounds and kept it off for a decade. Unlimited calories, no pills, potions, caffeine, or excessive exercise. The link is in the description below. So, what is the keto diet? And what does keto even mean? Well, the keto diet is a very low-carb diet that forces the body to use fat as fuel rather than carbohydrates. Unlike other low-carb diets like the paleo diet, for instance, which focuses on protein, a keto plan centers around fat, which supplies as much as 85% of daily calories. The ketogenic diet has been used since the 1920s for the treatment of epilepsy in children, although there is evidence of it causing kidney stones in children. The keto diet is now being exploited by the dieting industry and is basically a rebrand of the Atkins diet that was created by Robert Atkins, who actually died obese in 2003. His autopsy and medical records showed a clear history of serious heart issues, including heart attacks, congestive heart failure, and hypertension. The diet includes liberal amounts of meats, including processed meats, sausages, eggs, cheeses, fish, nuts, butters, oils, seeds, and some fibrous vegetables. As a result of this increased consumption of meat and eggs, dieters are at a very high risk of foodborne illnesses like Campylobacter and Salmonella poisoning. And contracting parasites from raw and undercooked salmon are especially risky. In general, the average American gets over 50% of their daily calories from carbohydrates. The body then breaks these incoming carbohydrates down into glucose molecules that are then used as fuel. Carbohydrate-rich food examples that dieters must eliminate or drastically restrict on a keto diet are fruits, sugar, bread, rice, pasta, potatoes. Keto dieters must eat fewer than 20 to 50 grams of carbohydrates per day to reach a state of ketosis. This takes around 3 to 4 days to achieve. During this time, the individual may experience lethargy, irritability, dehydration, and challenging bowel movements. So, what is ketosis? To move forward with awareness, we must first understand the importance of glucose in our human bodies. Every one of the trillions of cells in your body are fueled by simple sugar, aka glucose, which are sugar molecules derived from the carbohydrates we eat. In less than optimal situations, we can also derive glucose from protein and fat via an energy inefficient multi-step process called gluconeogenesis, which means the creation of new sugar. Our brains are particularly hungry for sugars and use a whopping 25% of our circulating glucose. And in a healthy state, glucose is the body and brain's preferred fuel source. That's why humans have such an intense sweet tooth. And that's why you always see these keto dieters loading up on artificial sweeteners. This sweet tooth is a natural trait amongst all frugivorous primates, such as gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees, and bonobos. So why are there all these successful before and after weight loss photos? Why do people lose weight initially on the keto diet? When we stop eating all or most carbohydrates like fruit, bread, potatoes, rice, pasta, then we force our bodies to use stored glucose in our liver and muscles called glycogen to replace the lack of carbohydrates we are eating. Yes, your body is so cool that it literally has a backup of instantly usable sugar to help keep you alive and healthy. And for every 1 gram of glucose stored in the body, we store around 2.8 grams of water. So our body releases this healthy hydration once our body burns up its stored glucose reserves. Once all our glucose is used up, then our body also stops storing that associated water weight, and this results in instant weight loss. After 3 to 4 days on the keto diet, the lack of incoming carbs forces our body and brain to burn its non-preferred backup fuel source, which is fat. This is a crisis state that kicks in to essentially save our life in case of starvation. Your body then creates emergency fuel via the liver, breaking down fat, which results in the production of ketone bodies. This in turn leads to an influx of ketones in the blood, which can lead to ketoacidosis. And not only can ketoacidosis kill you, but your risk of dying increases dramatically on a keto diet due to the high intakes of red meat, which are associated with a higher risk of cardiovascular disease mortality. And interestingly, these heart disease risks were consistently observed in people with low, medium, and high fruit and veg consumption. So your risk is still high if you eat a diet high in fruit and veggies in addition to a high intake of meat. So you cannot protect yourself with fruits and veggies if you're still eating high quantities of red meat. Proponents of keto cell diet is the idea that if they stop eating carbohydrates, they will then start burning body fat effortlessly, and they will reach their desired body weight. The truth is, keto dieters lose weight through calorie restriction, a lack of appetite due to sickness, and dehydration. The average person's body stores around 300 grams of glucose, so with the addition of the associated water loss, dieters lose around 2.2 pounds of weight on the scales within a few days. Keep in mind, this is glucose and water weight. This is not fat. So in a state of ketosis, dieters lose their appetite because of the ketones in the blood causing nausea, fatigue, and low appetite. Some dieters call this the keto flu, and it is quite simply the body is in a state of illness. We become sick from this high level of ketones that are starting to poison the blood. And these ketones also cause a strong diuretic effect on the kidneys, causing them to release even more water weight or hydration. So at this point, dieters are very dehydrated. Kidney stones can become a real problem for keto dieters. Science demonstrates that there is a higher prevalence of renal calculi or kidney stones in those on a keto diet. Factors like the chronic acidosis, the dehydration, the low urine pH, and fat malabsorption all contribute to the formation of uric acid and calcium oxalate stones. During this time, not only because dieters are dehydrated, but because of an obvious lack of overall calories, in particular carbohydrates, dieters will feel weak. Hence why you see dieters becoming addicted to bulletproof coffee. Caffeine dependency is the first sign of a failing diet.
So first of all, I start off my morning with coffee. Everybody likes coffee, but I'll add coconut oil and butter, blend it up. It tastes delicious. It's actually really filling, and that'll last me a couple hours. And then
So that's all you have for breakfast? Coffee with butter in it?
coffee with butter and coconut oil blended up. I know.
In an effort to increase energy levels, dieters reach for the caffeine and artificial sweetener, but their brain cannot derive any glucose from these substances, so before long they binge out on carbohydrate-rich foods. This is not a sign of weakness or lack of discipline. This is the brain overriding the human ego and preventing death from poisoning and starvation and dehydration. Your body then gains back the glucose and the water and any fat lost. But now you have the addition of a ravenous extreme hunger, as Stephanie Buttermore puts it, from the forced calorie deficit. And then you go all in and end up gaining even more fat as your body holds on to the fat in case of another future keto famine. Dieters restrict again and again. The cycle continues, and for some people, it never ends. The thing is, no one can keep the weight off. Not only do we have anecdotal evidence, but also empirical evidence showing that the vast majority of those who lose weight on the keto diet regain all the weight back within 6 months. And being concerned about weight loss really pales in comparison when you consider the host of diseases induced by the keto diet. For instance, malnutrition from compromised vitamin and mineral intake, cancer, stroke, gout, osteoporosis, diabetes, potential kidney, bone, liver, and cholesterol abnormalities, cardiac disease, arrhythmias, contractile function impairment, impairment of physical activity, a rise in blood pressure with age, rapid falling blood pressure upon standing, and sudden death. The keto diet is disastrous for your health. It is horrifically cruel to animals, and it accelerates the destruction of our rainforests and global warming. It is a big fat no. Not only is the keto diet unsafe and unhealthy, but ineffective for long-term weight loss. Weight loss is only temporarily achieved through depletion and starvation, and for that reason, no human can healthfully stay in a state of ketosis long term, whether it's plant-based or flesh-based. Humans are naturally high carbohydrate creatures, not low carb, and that's why we get sick when we go on these diets. As you learn, the frugivorous human brain and body requires a steady supply of glucose to maintain bodily homeostasis. I call the keto diet a low-life diet because, well, carbs are life. And without them, you will get sick and eventually die. If you want exclusive content from me, like what I eat, motivation to stay healthy, get fit, be more authentic, then join my VIP Queen Bees group. The link is in the description below, or you can press the join button on my main channel. The button is next to the subscribe button. Don't forget to go fruit yourself today.